I started out with the icon of the human being and the human condition and the simple acts of being human in life. This is what I was celebrating at the beginning. Then I did what I would call the icons of Impressionism. And because of this second bounce feeling of reproducing icons of the Impressionist period, I realized that going from 2D to 3D and reproducing two-dimensional icons, this was a reach into the human response that should be farmed and worked. And it would help the man on the street again respond to art because it would reach so deep inside him. That's when I went and did my Marilyn Monroe. I just found a photographer who had taken a picture of her for the opening of the 7-Year Itch. So I was able to buy it directly from the photographer. Then came Unconditional Surrender. Lieutenant Jorgensen, who took the picture I used, did chop off the legs, which is no problem for me because I can add legs very easily. So I went to the Library of Congress and got his picture, which was in the public wheel. And I constructed a life-size of this piece and put it in Times Square for VJ Day, and there was a great big kiss-a-thon around it. Everybody, we handed out sailor hats and roses to everybody as they were kissing. Another potent image is American Gothic. I felt that the couple in American Gothic were natural protesters of outsourcing because they would want the Americans to have all the jobs. And so it was more or less a statement standing up for American workers. And it's fair use to make my statement about their statement. If you're making a political statement with the piece, your right of free speech trumps a copyright claim. The large pieces, what do they do? Something happens with scale here that takes the third dimension and turns up the volume. They're not only a presence, your presence is diminished by their presence, and really demanding your attention. Why am I paying so much attention to this thing? I can't take my eyes off it. I can't let it go. There's something about scale that's very exciting. It creates all kinds of emotions, whether they be fear or an ability at further insight or something like that. It is an interesting question whether I'm getting a ride on somebody else's image. I am, but I'm giving something additional, and I'm giving an intimacy. People can touch my piece. They can't touch a two-dimensional image. I am enhancing and paying homage to the original image. I'm not trying to claim it, except in the third dimension. Just as Manet took Olympia from Titian, it's how all art evolves from what has been done before, and you put your own stamp on it. Public art has to be accessible. It can't hide in intellectual complexity what its purpose is. It shouldn't have an explanation that's necessary next to it. My thing is to re-involve people with the arts and take it from there and make it fun. I want it to be almost overwhelming, this feeling of joy and celebration.